Hey there, welcome back. We like to jump right in. Today we're going deep on mind movies. When I first saw all the stuff you sent over about this, I have to admit I was a little skeptical. Manifesting your dreams with visualization. It sounded kind of far out there, to be honest. But then I started looking into the research, and well, some of it's actually pretty interesting. And that's why we've got our expert here today, someone who really knows how the mind works and how we can maybe tap into that. So let's start with the basics. What exactly are these mind movies and what's the psychology behind them? We're talking visualization, neuroplasticity, maybe even the law of attraction. And then we'll get into the practical stuff like how to actually create one and why people say they work. Ready to have your mind blown?
You know what I find so fascinating about mind movies? They're more than just daydreaming. They use the power of our subconscious, that part of our mind that's always running in the background. It influences our thoughts and actions. It's like making a vision board, but way more intense.
Hmm.
Instead of just pictures, you've got video music affirmations all working together to create an experience that really impresses your desires on your subconscious.
So it's not just about staring at pretty pictures and crossing your fingers. There's actual thought and strategy behind it. And speaking of strategy, the research you sent breaks down the key parts of a mind movie. There's imagery, affirmations, music, and you can even use video clips. It's like making a mini movie just for your mind.
Yeah, each part plays a crucial role. Like take the imagery. Imagine a montage of your dream home, the place you want to travel, or even just the feeling of complete financial freedom. The more vivid and emotionally charged those images are, the more powerful the effect on your subconscious.
Oh, I see. So it's not just about visual stimulation, though, right? The research also mentions affirmations. These positive statements spoken in the present tense, like your dreams have already come true, like I am healthy and radiant, or I effortlessly attract abundance, stuff like that. It's almost like speaking your desires into existence.
Exactly. The goal is to swap out those limiting beliefs we often carry with more empowering ones. And saying these affirmations while watching your mind movie can help reinforce them in your subconscious.
What about the music? It seems like that would be important for setting the mood and amplifying those emotions.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Music is so powerful when it comes to evoking specific emotional states. Think about how a movie soundtrack can transport you to a different time and place, or how certain songs can trigger feelings of joy, motivation, or even sadness. Choosing the right music for your mind movie is key for making it emotionally impactful.
Okay, so we've got the ingredients, visuals, affirmations, music. But what's the science behind this? Why do people believe mind movies actually help them achieve their dreams?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. The concept of neuroplasticity is a big part of it. Basically, it means our brains aren't fixed. They're constantly changing based on our experiences and thoughts.
So our brains can rewire themselves even as adults.
Exactly. And studies have shown that visualization can actually activate the same neural pathways in the brain as actually doing something. It's like a mental rehearsal for success.
One of the studies you sent talked about basketball players. The group that practiced visualization along with their regular training significantly improved their free throw accuracy compared to the group that only did physical practice. It's kind of mind-blowing to think that just visualizing something can have such a real impact on our performance.
It really shows you the power of the mind. And it's not just for physical skills either. You can apply the same principle to other areas of life, like your career, relationships, personal growth.
Okay, so there is some scientific evidence to back up this idea of visualization affecting the brain. But some of the research also mentions the law of attraction. What's that all about?
So the law of attraction is this idea that attracts that our thoughts and beliefs can actually attract experiences and circumstances into our lives that match our dominant vibration. Like if you're always focused on negativity and lack, you're probably going to attract more of that.
Hmm.
But if you focus on positive thoughts and emotions, you open yourself up to more abundance and opportunities. It's like tuning your inner radio to a different frequency.
Okay, I see how that connects to mind movies. By creating this vivid experience full of positive imagery and affirmations, you're basically sending a strong signal to the universe, attracting the things you want. I gotta say, though, some people might think this whole law of attraction thing is a little too simplistic. Isn't it a bit much to say that our thoughts alone can control our reality?
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely not as easy as think positive and all your dreams will come true. There's a lot of debate about the law of attraction, and some of the claims haven't been scientifically proven. But even if you leave out the more mystical interpretations, there's still an important psychological principle at work here.
What do you mean?
Well, when we focus on the things we want, we're more likely to notice and take advantage of opportunities that align with those goals. Our brains naturally filter information based on our beliefs and expectations. So if we believe something is possible, we're more likely to see evidence of that possibility around us.
It's like that saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Our beliefs can become self-fulfilling prophecies.
Exactly. And that's where the real power of mind movies comes in.
Yeah.
They're not magic, but they can help us change our mindset, program our subconscious, and ultimately influence our actions.
This all makes sense, but I keep wondering, what about people who visualize and affirm all the right things but still don't see results? Is there something they're missing?
That's a great question, and it brings us to a really important point that's emphasized throughout the research you sent. Mind movies aren't a replacement for action. They work best when combined with conscious effort and aligned action. It's like having a map to your destination. It won't get you there by itself, but it can guide your steps.
So you can't just sit back and visualize your dream life. You have to actually take steps to make it happen.
Exactly. Think of your mind movie as a blueprint for your future, a source of inspiration and motivation. But you're the architect, the builder, who brings that vision to life through your choices and actions.
I love that analogy. It reminds me of one of the sources you sent. It talked about turning the images from your mind movie into actual steps you can take. Like if your mind movie shows a successful business, you might start researching different business models, networking with entrepreneurs, or taking a course on starting a company.
Right. Or if your mind movie shows a healthier, more energetic version of yourself, you could start by making healthy choices every day, like eating nutritious food, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep.
It's about aligning your actions with the vision you've created for yourself. But what about when motivation fades? We all have times when we feel discouraged or tempted to give up on our goals. How can mind movies help us stay on track?
That's one of the biggest benefits of mind movies. They can remind you of your why, the reasons you have those goals, the feelings you want to experience, the life you're working towards. When you watch your mind movie again, especially when you're feeling down or doubtful, it's like recharging your batteries. You reinforce those positive beliefs and rekindle your motivation to keep going. It's like having a personal cheerleader in your pocket, always there to remind you what's possible.
Okay, so we've talked about how mind movies can be a powerful tool for programming our subconscious, shifting our mindset, and motivating us to take action. But I'm curious about the downsides. Are there any potential pitfalls we should be aware of? The research you sent didn't shy away from those.
You're right. It's important to be aware of the potential downsides.
Like what? I can imagine someone getting so caught up in the fantasy of their mind movie that they lose touch with reality. Or maybe they get disappointed when things don't manifest exactly as they pictured them.
That's definitely one potential trap. Another one is falling into the comparison trap, where you start comparing your progress to other people's highlight reels on social media and feel inadequate or discouraged.
It's so easy to get caught up in that comparison game, especially in today's world where everyone's connected all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're constantly seeing these perfect versions of people's lives, and it's easy to forget that everyone's journey is different.
Right. It's important to remember that mind movies are about personal growth, not competition. Focus on your own path, celebrate your progress, and don't compare yourself to others.
Another thing I was thinking about is getting too attached to a specific outcome. What if your mind movie shows one very specific scenario, but life throws you a curveball and things don't work out exactly as you planned?
That's a good point. You need to approach mind movies with flexibility and openness. The universe works in mysterious ways, and sometimes those ways are even better than we could have imagined.
So it's not about controlling every little detail, but setting an intention, trusting the process, and being open to unexpected possibilities.
Exactly. Think of your mind movie as a guiding star, not a rigid roadmap. It's about aligning yourself with a certain energy and vibration, and then letting life unfold naturally.
This all makes sense, but I'm wondering if there are any practical tips for avoiding those pitfalls. Like, how can we use mind movies effectively without getting lost in fantasy or getting discouraged when things don't go as planned?
One of the most important things is to remember that mind movies are a tool to be used with real-world action. Don't just visualize, actually take steps towards your goals.
So, like, translate those inspiring visuals into concrete actions. If your mind movie shows your dream home, maybe start researching neighborhoods or setting a savings goal for a down payment.
Exactly. It's about bridging the gap between visualization and action.
Another tip I got from the research is to focus on the feeling rather than specific details. So instead of getting hung up on visualizing a certain house or job, focus on the emotions you want to experience, like joy, abundance, freedom, connection.
That's a great shift in perspective. Focusing on the feeling, opens you up to more possibilities and you become less attached to one specific outcome.
And what about dealing with discouragement? We're all going to face setbacks or feel like we're not making progress. How can mind movies help us stay motivated?
Go back and watch your mind movie, especially when you're feeling down or doubtful. It'll remind you of your why, reconnect you with those positive emotions, and reaffirm your belief in yourself and your dreams.
It's like giving yourself a pep talk and a boost of inspiration at the same time.
Exactly. And remember to celebrate your wins no matter how small. Every step forward, every obstacle you overcome shows your commitment and resilience.
Wow, this has been a really eye-opening conversation. I feel like we've gone deeper than just the hype and really explored the complexities of mind movies, the psychology, the potential benefits, and how to use them in a smart way.
It's been a fascinating journey, and I hope our listeners feel inspired to create their own mind movie masterpieces and harness the power of their imagination to create a life they love.
If you had to leave our listener with one last thought, what would it be?
Remember, you are the artist of your own life. You have the power to choose your thoughts, shape your beliefs, and create a reality that reflects your deepest desires. Mind movies can be a powerful tool, but ultimately it's up to you to bring your dreams to life.
Well said. And on that note, we'll leave you with a final question to think about. If you could create a mind movie of your perfect life, what would be the most surprising or unexpected thing you would include? Let that question spark your imagination and guide you on your journey of self-discovery and creation. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. See you next time.